Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Come on in. Hello, hello. It is 11 a.m. Central Standard Time here in the States. Paige and I are coming to you live once more to answer the questions, to answer your questions about everything relationships, masculine and feminine polarity, trauma healing, etc., etc. I'm going to get my wife here to come on.
So there he is.
There I am.
Hey, can you hear
Were
me
you
all
on,
right?
babe? Were you on talking to your friends and folks and
Oh, let's
all
just
the
saying
things?
hello.
I told you this earlier today when I saw you. You look stunning in yellow, my queen.
Thank you, baby.
Your favorite color to wear that
Yellow
you like on you?
or red. Red is one of my colors.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I concur. I concur. So, how you feeling, babe? Wait for folks to drop in here.
I'm feeling fantastic.
Got some tea.
I do. Yep. Peppermint tea.
Hmm. Yeah. I like this. I like the.
Oh,
I like
thank
the
you.
thing. The things. What do you call
Here.
What you call? That's cute. That's brilliant.
Face
Yeah.
cream.
What you call it? Face frame. Face frame. Face frame. Yeah. Yeah. People are just now dropping in. So we'll sit here and look at each other and swoon and talk sweet nothings.
Happy
Uh,
Friday Eve. It has been a
what was that?
week.
It is, yeah. It's been, yeah. We've been incredibly full of bringing friends and folks and all the things, more awareness into trauma healing and feminine and masculine, and having folks, uh, some brand new students into your surrender program this week. So, those of you that are jumping in, let us know that you're here. We are here to answer questions about masculine and feminine energy and polarity and trauma healing and conflict and intimacy and communication, all things relationships. So, whatever is keeping you up at night, as we say, regarding relationships that you'd like some insight, some perspective from a masculine and feminine perspective, you've got David and Paige Lee here. Hello, friends. Hello. So people are slowly jumping in. The technology may be slow today. I'm just seeing the numbers slowly rise, and then they'll suddenly jump up. Let us know that you're here by waving, sending us a heart or a thumbs up. Let us know that you're here, friends, and begin dropping those questions in the chat. And I can see on my side, Paige can see on her side. So, babe, if you got something that's coming through, let me know. And
Awesome.
yeah,
No questions, but we have some people joining us. And
yes, absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
glad you're here.
Yeah. What is the what is the? Let me ask you this, babe. What do you believe are the one or the two most complex, confusing, frustrating issues that women in your programs face? The women who come
Mhm.
to you and are in your programs that, um, regarding relationships, regarding their health, regarding their mental health, regarding their physical health. What comes forward most of the time when you're jumping on those group coaching calls that you hold within your surrender program?
Mhm.
What comes forward? What's kind of the repetition that you consistently see? What are the questions that are coming forth?
Yeah, there's a couple, and I'm so glad you asked this. This is so fun. One of the main things that women communicate is they say, I just don't know how to relax. I don't know how to calm down. I don't know how to feel peace in my body. I don't know how to just surrender and relinquish control and trust that everything's going to get taken care of. And that is a huge layer in the healing process is when you like no one is just born knowing how to relax, right? And so this is a skill, beginning to understand your nervous system and to educate yourself on how the nervous system is a huge component in those mechanisms of relaxation. And so ultimately the reason why you're not relaxing is because your body does not know that it feels safe to do so. And so a lot of that relaxation comes from building safety and trust in the body. And that looks like showing up for yourself and caring for yourself in ways that actually feel nourishing. And there's a lot of guessing and checking that goes into play with that to understand like where you're experiencing shifts in the nervous system and what actually feels like it is relaxing. Versus
Hmm.
like, all right, well, they say to just I'm going to take a bath and I'm going to go, do all these other self-care things, get a massage, get my nails done. But that doesn't really change the state in which you feel secure inside your body. So it's a much deeper relationship that you're building with yourself in that way. So that's a
Hmm.
big, big one right there.
Yeah. So how do women surrender into their feminine energy that allows them to find relaxation, restoration, rejuvenation, when most of the time they're in hyper activity mode
Survival mode.
out of necessity, yeah,
Yeah.
out of a lack perhaps of masculine healing energy within them, or perhaps their masculine partner. So
Hmm.
as I often say, women will always find a way. Incredibly resilient. Women are incredibly powerful in the state of how they survive, which is important for the continuation of the human race, right? So it does take two to tango, but we certainly see that. So yeah, thank you for answering that, babe. Appreciate that. I think I will speak up from the masculine perspective that, gentlemen, those of you that are watching or listening to this live, my challenge to you is that it's our responsibility as masculine men to provide the safety and security and space for our feminine woman to relax. That is our responsibility, to provide the space in order for her to step into her feminine energy that is so desperately needed. She needs more rest. She needs more rejuvenation. She needs more relaxation. That's that is how the feminine body works. So it's imperative that we can surround her with the opportunity to find those simple, not easy, simple ways in which to spend time with herself. As I often say to Paige, when she texts me during the day, during our work days, and she said, you know what? I think I'm going to lay down for a few minutes. I'm going to rest. I'm going to go take a walk. I am going to take a bath. I'm going to jump in the shower. I'm going to rest, rejuvenate, whatever that may look like for her. I absolutely thrive in that energy. When I know that she's taking care of herself, which is her number one priority. So, ladies, again, if you are not taking care of yourself, you're doing a disservice not only to yourself, but everyone around you, because you come first. When Paige says, hey, I'm resting, I'm like, yes, because she's taking care of herself. Then I can continue to step into my bold, powerful, masculine energy to get things done, which is masculine. I sent a text to Paige this morning that said, we were talking about abundance, we were talking about business, we were talking about flow, we were talking about revenue, some of the things that obviously we often talk about being in business together. And I said, you flow, I pursue. I said, you flow, talking to Paige. I said, I pursue, masculine and feminine. And that's how abundance comes, in impact, in money, in revenue, in all the things. In fact, I think I sent that to you again, and my autocorrect said glow instead of flow. Did you see that? I
I
said,
did.
you glow, I pursue. I'm like, it's
And
the
it was
same.
so appropriate. Yeah.
It's so appropriate. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fantastic. Okay, we have some questions coming in, babe. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm here.
By the way, Sweet Serenity is here from Michigan. You have some ties to Michigan.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So Julie Arth. Hello, Julie. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. She says how to stay in your feminine energy when your partner is going through a really stressful time at work. Yeah. Yeah. I think a personal story, if you've got one right up there at the tip of your tongue, babe. How do you navigate? How do you remain in your feminine when you know that I'm navigating some stress and anxiety and overwhelm and those types of things? How do you not only do that, but have, you know, vulnerably struggled in that, as we both have, in mending those codependent wounds within our own relationship?
Hmm. Well, I'll tell you how I used to handle it. How I used to
Please,
handle it,
please.
yeah,
Hmm.
was to jump in and save and rescue and try and fix and try to help him feel better and trying to just overextend and correct the situation. And what I've come to realize is that there's nothing to correct. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is broken. He simply is going through something. He is navigating something that only he can walk himself out of. I can be there to support him and provide perspective if he asks. But, one of the greatest questions you can ask for him is, hey, how can I best support you right now? And be open to receiving whatever he has to say, and ensure that it aligns with your values and your boundaries. Don't just fold on yourself entirely based upon what he is requesting. But that is how I retain my connection to my feminine energy while holding space for my partner to get through whatever he needs to get through. And it is a little confusing for my feminine energy because, as we talk about at length on these lives and in our programs and masterclasses and all of that, is when you have two masculine energies coming together, there's chaos. There's this fighting for power. But when you have two feminine energies, which is navigating, taking care of yourself, how you're navigating stress, how you're finding regulation in chaotic moments, which it sounds like your partner is in now, and you being in your core feminine energy and wanting to remain there, then that's where things begin to feel a bit more passive. There's no real leader. It's kind of murky. It's weird. We don't really know what's happening. And so the best thing that you can do, and so in those moments, it feels like kind of threatening to me. Wounded elements of me come forward that feel a little threatened because there is no masculine energy. And so in the past, that's why I would step forward. I would step forward, take the masculine role because no one else was leading. And so this is a retraining process to build trust and strength within yourself that says, no, I can be here. I'm going to be here where it's comfortable for me, which is my feminine energy. And I'm going to hold space, which is a beautiful healing element of the feminine energy for him, to support him as he navigates this transition and can return back to his masculine energy.
Fantastic. Thank you, baby. What I often say to so many women who come to me with this very question is, from the masculine perspective, when he is in that feminine healing chaos moment of in his feels, in his emotions, um, he is looking for the space. He's looking for the space for him to navigate all that, for you to step in, ladies, for you to step in and to coddle him, to save him, to fix him, to work him, right, is antithetical to what he needs. You support his masculinity by challenging him in the ways of how can he then step back into his masculine energy. I say this often. It is absolutely appropriate for the masculine to express emotion, but he must have a plan. He must have a way forward. He must say, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm navigating. And I have steps forward. This is what I'm processing. This is what I'm thinking. These are the actions that I'm going to take in order to begin this healing process. And he must communicate that with her. I've said this to Paige. I said, hey, this is what I'm going through. Not perfect at this. In fact, I just did a TikTok on this a couple of days ago and it was very well received. Is I realized over some couple of days that I was really struggling. And I thought to myself, Paige may be receiving this and feeling some dysregulation in her nervous system, thinking, uh oh, are we protected? Is he okay? Is he able to move forward? Is he strong? Is he in his masculine? And so I went to her proactively and I said, by the way, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm working through. This is what I'm navigating. These are the steps that I'm taking. And it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, it's
which,
beautiful.
yeah, which is so hard because, again, what we teach and coach, friends, is absolutely autonomy. I am my own person. Paige is her own person. We choose every single day to enter into a co-creative, symbiotic, independent relationship with each other. We choose every single day to navigate those waters together. So whenever we latch onto each other's moods, those are levels of codependency. That, and believe me, Paige and I have both been in long-term relationships in the past, and we still navigate those codependent tendencies within our relationship. But we have a history of codependency from our past in relationships because of our own trauma wounding that we're still navigating and still in that healing process. So it's super important for the man to communicate when he's navigating his emotions to ensure that she knows that's what's going on and that he does have a plan. So, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. Sweet Serenity from Michigan says, good point. Single 17 years. How to be feminine after so long being masculine to find a masculine. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. First thing I'll say is, ladies, you don't find a man. He finds you. Okay. The masculine pursues, the feminine glows and flows and rests in who she is. She's pursuing herself. One of the sexiest, most attractive things a masculine man will find in a feminine woman is that she is focused and caring for herself and not pursuing him. Okay. Masculine men do not need to be baited. We do not need to be cajoled. We do not need to be pursued. We don't want that. That turns us off. Okay. So, and I get it. I understand, sweet serenity, whatever your name is. After so long being in a certain space, a certain energy, it is very familiar. And my guess is it's worked for you. It has kept you safe. It has kept you perhaps in survival mode. And we completely understand that. What do you think, baby? What would you say?
I agree completely. Yeah. You taking care of you is your top priority, and then the relationship, the man, the partner, all of that will come as a result. And that might be really hard to hear. And so often those are the outcomes that we all chase as humans. We want the perfect relationship. We want to lose the weight. We want to have the perfect body. We want to fill in the blank. And those are all secondary results that we are seeking that comes after we begin to lean into the inner work and really start caring for ourselves in deeply attuning ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That is, I was saying this to some clients earlier this week. I said the overflow is everything that comes out of your healing. You heal yourself first. You love yourself. You care for yourself. This goes for everyone, not just women, but men and women. You are number one. Okay. Not your children, not your spouse, not your job, not your money. All of those will be an overflow. It's an abundance because you are filled up. You are filled up with your own care, with your own love, with your own healing, with your own growth, with your own transformation. And everything then can overflow out of you and onto those that you love. But you must come first with absolution. Maddie says, love Paige's hair. I
Oh,
love it.
thank
I love
you.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do too.
Chop off 4 inches.
Oh, she
It's,
chopped off 4 inches. Yeah.
I did.
hmm
Thank you, Maddie.
All right. Let's see. Next, women should initiate contact sometimes, question mark. Hmm.
I don't see why not.
Say more.
I mean, if you feel intuitively called, like you feel like you want to communicate with someone, then communicate with someone.
hmm
Yeah, that's the thing there. In some of these polarity teachings and what you will hear from other professionals is that you are never to reach out first. You are never to initiate conversation. You are never to pursue or any of those things. But, if you're feeling intuitively called in your body and you have this desire and this emotion to talk to someone, then say, hey,
hmm
let
Yeah.
them know how you feel.
hmm
And there is a spectrum here. Because if you are constantly pursuing and constantly inserting yourself, then that is when you are leaning more into a wounded masculine energy. And that is going to be a turnoff for
hmm
another masculine energy. And that will continue to attract feminine partners.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as I said earlier, that it is a fine line, and the fine line that you find there is through your healing, through the confident healing growth that you find in healing those past traumas that says, "Oh, if I don't pursue, no one else will. If I don't pursue, if I don't go after, if I'm not a go-getter, then nothing is going to happen." And that's certainly the confirming experiences that you've had. And they are in need of healing to understand, wait a minute, I need to find harmony in my masculine and feminine energy. And that is what we are teaching. That is what we're coaching. That's what we're helping people across the planet become and do, is understanding, wait, if I identify my core energy as being feminine, I'm a feminine woman. So I never step into my masculine? That's not it at all. Of course you do. But the vast majority of the time, and in different seasons, it's imperative. In fact, Paige and I had this conversation as we were laying in bed this morning. She has been in super masculine mode in doing and creating and crafting and working with women in her programs over the last several weeks. And my direction, my leadership to her said, that's fantastic. Flow through this. Understand your feminine energy must come first to find those moments to relax. And I am providing that container. It's imperative I provide that space so she can do that. And it's my responsibility to lead her to that because her wounding that's still left over says, I got to keep going. I got to keep hustling. I got to do one more thing. And my responsibility is to provide her the soft landing for her to soften for herself. And
Yeah.
so you even came up with a plan, babe. She stepped into, do you hear that, ladies? She stepped into her masculine in that moment and said, my plan is after I get through this week, I'm going to spend a week recalibrating. I think that's the words that you used. Is in
Yeah.
essence, in definition, in translation, she is going to spend more time and energy in her feminine to relax, to reconfigure, to recalibrate, to rejuvenate, to
Mhm.
take care of herself. So then she can, when it's necessary, to step into her masculine doing. But the
Mhm.
far majority of the time, over the long haul, she must be in her feminine. Because by the way, when we met, we were inverted. I was more in my feminine energy. She was more in her masculine energy. And so we have found the ways through our own individual healing to realize, wow, we can reverse this where it feels more at home in our body. But we still have those lingering woundings that say, oh, for me, it's like, wow, why does it feel more natural for me to linger in my feminine and for her to linger in her masculine? Well, those are still woundings in which need healing. And so we're very much aware of that. And that's what we are helping other folks, our clients, and so many of you do that as well.
Yeah.
So,
There will be seasons where you are in your masculine energy, just like I've been working on these big projects that has demanded more from me. And it has been so draining and exhausting. And I've had to really care for myself tenderly in different ways to ensure that I'm feeling rejuvenated and restored. And it's the healing work is to really identify your energetic and emotional limits so that we have less of these big roller coaster moments where we're in our masculine, then we need to recover in our feminine, and then then are in our masculine, and then we need to recover in our feminine. And instead, how can we create more of this harmonic flow between two different energies so that you are feeling rested and restored as you move through masculine tasks and masculine seasons of life? That's what we're working towards.
yeah, well said. You're pretty smart, babe.
Thank you.
And stunning and gorgeous. Yes. Jennifer Foshi Carr says, I think it's women's instincts is to help, support, and fix the problem. To help, support. Go ahead. What were you going to say,
Yeah,
baby?
I would say to support and to nurture and to care for others, absolutely. But fixing, that's when we get into that is a wounded energetic. There's nothing to fix, really, ever. There's only things to feel. And that's what I say to the clients, the students in my programs is there's nothing to fix of yourself and there's nothing to fix of others. It's simply showing up, holding space, feeling out the situation, expressing your truths, receiving others, loving on them, caring for them, and doing it in ways that feel aligned with your values and who you are as a woman. It's fixing is often depleting. Caring for and supporting, that is very fueling. It's very
Hmm.
restorative to the feminine body.
Yeah. I'm going to quote you, babe. You always say, women are not to figure it out. They're simply to feel.
Yes.
So, Jennifer, to provide some correction for you because we love you. It is not to fix. It is not instinctual for a woman, maybe in her wounded masculine, but it is not instinctual. It's not inspirational. It's not intuitive for the feminine woman to fix or solve or create outcomes or desire a certain way of ending a particular issue. That is what keeps you overwhelmed, burned out, and exhausted.
And that was a learned pattern that was just passed down through the generations. And so
Mm-hmm.
you have such an empowering opportunity to break that pattern and ensure that you're remaining connected to giving in ways that feel restorative and less depleting.
Ah, so good. All right, a couple more, babe. We're going to have a hard stop here at the bottom of the hour because you are preparing for your biweekly call with all of the amazing women in your
Yes,
surrender program.
I
So, by the
am.
way, ladies, if you're interested in knowing more about working in the surrender community with Paige as she leads women from around the world to truly understand their feminine energy, to truly understand their masculine wounding, to truly understand the traumas that have kept them from being the woman that they were crafted to become. Go to our links on our TikToks and Instagram and all the spaces and jump into. We have several links there to connect with us. So you can even send us emails to find out more about the Surrender program. And so, with that, I'm going to say seriously. Let's see. Seriously, Shannon says, I like alliteration. Seriously, Shannon says, literally right there in my marriage, we are both in the feminine and standing in the gap while he heals.
Mm.
I think I'm understanding that. Why he heals. The thing I will say, Shannon, is ensure that you are on the same pathway for your healing as well. Ladies, what far often happens is women will wait on a man, and sometimes for far too
For
long.
decades.
What'd you say?
For decades.
For decades. Uh-huh. So, as I often say in my dominant masculine power, no woman is to wait on a man. I'm going to say it again. No woman is to wait on a man. Okay? You are only to take care of you. And that's why these are independent journeys. My healing journey and Paige's healing journey are completely separate. I have nothing to do with her healing. She has nothing to do with my healing. I'm not waiting around for her to figure it out. She's not waiting around for me to figure it out. We choose to be in this coexisting relationship of two individuals, two interdependent individuals. By the way, this is why we're on separate screens. I have my life, she has her life. And we keep those separate, and yet we choose to be in a relationship together. So even in our presentation on social media, on podcast appearances, wherever we may be, we are separate because I'm me and she's her. And far too often, those get very, very confused in enmeshment and codependency and attachment. What I will say is, as far as you healing, is understanding what your healing journey is. Too often, we look at the other partner and go, wow, I'm here to support you. Keep going. Here we go. Meanwhile, we're not looking in the mirror, right? We're looking at the window, as I say. Always be looking in the mirror and never out the window. Anything else you wanted to add there, baby?
No, that's great.
Fantastic. All right, let's take one more question. One more. Who's it gonna be? Hmm. Uh, let's get somebody new here. Megan says, single mom here. I really have been trying to work on me. How can I rejuvenate my feminine? What a wonderful question, Megan, for us to finish out our time. Yes. Um, I'll say this, and I'll let Paige bring this home as we conclude our time here. The first thing I'll say, Megan, is you're not a single mom. You're not a single mom. You're a woman first. That's how you. That's the nicest little language tweak you can make. Okay, but it matters. As Brene Brown says, language matters. And we are huge fans and mentees of Brene Brown. We love language. We're language nerds, aren't we, babe? We're language nerds. We love language. We love syntax. We love all of that. But language matters. You are not a single mom. You are a woman who has a role as mother, who has a role as worker, who has a role as business leader, who has a role as daughter, who has a role as aunt. So you are not a single mom, you are a woman. And when you begin to fully embrace that with the help and the support and the safety of programs like Paige's Surrender program to help so many women to rejuvenate their feminine energy. And I invite you, Megan, to go and check that out. So click on our bio link and find out that information. That's the first thing I will say. But it matters. The language that we use helps either propel us or keeps us stuck in who we believe we are. Labels are not necessary. In fact, they block us from healing. What do you got, babe? What do you got? What do you got for
Yeah.
Megan?
Yeah, so I think it's a fantastic question and truly one of the most asked questions in some form, phrase, or another is how do I relax? How do I restore? How do I take care of myself? That in a way that actually feels like I'm taking care of myself, that actually feels like it's effective. And the word that you used was rejuvenate. How do I rejuvenate myself more? And I would encourage you to spend a little time with that word. What does rejuvenate mean to you? where do you feel it in your body? How do you feel when you are rejuvenated? How do you know when you are feeling rejuvenated? And so there is some really ground foundational work to explore there before you can begin inviting in some activities that align with your answers. And so
Hmm.
that is work that we dive deep into inside my surrender program. And so there's a little jump start on how to get started in rejuvenation that actually feels effective for you and your feminine spirit, because everyone is different. We might have some common themes and common threads when it comes down to nourishment and creativity and playfulness and laughter and joy and things like that. But um, everyone is so different and has different needs. And so you are worth exploring your unique list of rejuvenating activities.
Hmm. Yeah. Well said, baby. Well said. We're going to go ahead and end here because we are going to honor your boundary, my boundary. Ah, masculine. Boundaries are masculine. Boundaries are masculine. And it's so imperative. This is why women so much struggle, by the way, with boundaries, because it's not a natural tendency. This is why men struggle with healing journeys, because it's not natural, because healing is a feminine energy. So, but we're going to honor the boundaries. We're going to jump off here with one more plug of ladies, if you're truly interested, if you really want to find out more, perhaps to work with Paige within the Surrender community. That's the name of our program, Surrender. Is jump
Mhm.
on our links on TikTok, on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube, and or send us an email. I love getting emails. People who are bold and send me a direct email. I will answer you. I love answering emails. So send me an email, and I can give you some specifics about working with us. I also work with both men and women in a one-on-one coaching environment. So I've got men and women from all over the world that I work with one on one to help them navigate these trauma wounds, to navigate relationship complexities. And by the way, many of the women that I work with also work with Paige in her surrender program. So you've got that balance of masculine and feminine polarity within the healing process.
Yeah.
So Megan says, "Oh, were you gonna say something, babe?"
Go ahead.
I was just gonna, oh, Angela says, I keep hearing Brene Brown's name. I must need to listen to her stuff. Yes. Go check out Brene Brown. Yeah, I highly recommend her very first TED Talk, which is what exploded her onto the scene. And I highly recommend her latest book, which is called Atlas of the Heart. So go check
Mhm.
out Brene. She's amazing. So Megan says, amazing. Thank you so much. Sweet Serenity says, thank you much. Do you help couples together? Oh, I will answer that question. Thank you, Grateful Hearts. It's a great name, Grateful Hearts. We do not help couples together, but we work with couples. I work with 3 or 4 married couples right now, but we work independently. I work with each of them one on one, and it's incredibly effective. Okay? Incredibly effective because I'm working with the husband on what he's doing, I'm working with the wife on what she's doing or being, and then they come together in the background leveraging what they're hearing from masculine perspective. And again, some of those ladies are in the surrender track with Paige, and it makes this beautiful symbiosis of healing and growth and transformation. So if you have more questions about what that looks like, Grateful Hearts, send me an email. You can just click on my email on TikTok, and we can jump on a Zoom call together and to see if it would be a good fit. I can tell you all about what that looks like. And we look forward to seeing all of you down the road. Thank you for being here. Thanks for following us on TikTok. Go find us on Instagram. Go find us on YouTube. Go find us on, we're all over the place. So get into our email system because you're going to want to know what's coming up. If this has been impactful, if this has been important for you, let us know. We can't wait to hear from you. And that's it. We're done.
Mhm.
Cool, babe?
And to learn more about surrender, we do have a free video training on our both of our links. So you should be able to access that, and that will give you a really nice taste of my work and what I bring to our part of the business and our programs. And it will also tell you more about the actual 12-week surrender program too. But emails, you can always send us emails too if that would be more helpful.
Mhm. Absolutely. All right. With that, I'm David Lee.
Thank
That's Paige
you.
Lee.
I'm
Yeah,
Paige
absolutely.
Lea. It
Yes.
was
We
fun.
will
We'll
see
see you
you
next
down the
time.
road, friends. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.